Hello friends, good afternoon to all of you. So I'm back with another video on Sociology optional subject for UPSC CSE mains examination. In this video we are going to cover modernization of Indian tradition, a subtopic on impact of colonial rule on Indian society. So friends, let's get started. So please do these 3 hours and comment and like the video and ask any doubt if you have, and hit the subscribe button below the video as hard as you can for the notification of more videos that are going to come. So friend, as you know that we are covering slot 2 autonomous topics, and we have already covered perspective on the study of Indian society, and now in this video we are going to see subsection B, modernization of Indian tradition, impact of colonial rule on Indian society. So friend, first we know the meaning of modernization and tradition. So basically traditions are those expected and habitual behavior which is the outcome of imitations of the ancestors, which get transferred from one generation to another continuously. Then basically these are the three characteristics of modernity, or the terms modernity is basically action and thoughts are rational and reflected on logic, that is supremacy of logic. Then there is rule of law, and then industrialization is also present in modernity. Modernity and traditions are two aspects of social life which are oftenly contradictory to each other. For example, the society which are traditional like Bhutan, Afghanistan, Iran or etc., modernity was not allowed to enter in their societies. Similarly, those who have modernized like Japan, Europe, United States, etc., tradition loses their existence as the time progresses. This proves that modernity and tradition cannot coexist, but this is not found in India. In Indian society, tradition and modernity are not in opposition of each other. Rather, they have the nature of accommodation, integration, and adjustment with each other. Then Milton Singer, in her book When Great Tradition Modernizes, wrote that unlike other societies, Indian tradition have never been rigid and orthodox. It were liberal and flexible from the beginning. Indian tradition never opposed logic, which was responsible for their existence with the time and context. She believes that Indian society always respected their tradition but never been a position of bringing some changes as per the requirement. Radolf and Radolf, in their book Modernity and Tradition, wrote that due to the lack of any textbook or commanding organization, Indian tradition was flexible and changeable. Mackem Marriott studied Kishangarh, which is in UP, and found that little tradition and great tradition have always been open for the change. As modernization took place in India, the trend follows, and the resistance from tradition were very short-lived and weak. Then Eisenstadt, which is a sociologist in Israel, identified modernity of tradition in three core institutions of India. The first one is caste, the second one is religion, third one is joint family. So first, caste. Basically, caste is a form of social inequality in which right and responsible are fixed by birth. It is a vertical arrangement of groups in India which was based on the principle of inequality, where democracy is based upon the principle of equality, where society is based on horizontal arrangement. Hence, caste and democracy are against each other. But in India, caste and democracy do not oppose each other over the period. For example, caste was democratized, whereas democracy was practiced on the line of caste system. Then G.N. Ramu, he studied the study of Kohra's gold mine in Karnataka, and K.L. Sharma studied Shastri Mansabha, which is in Jaipur. In their respective studies, they found that how caste organizations are formed on the democratic principle through electoral process. Whereas Rajani Kothari in his book Caste and Politics wrote that in the initial days caste was an essential factor for mobilization in the electoral process, which was continued till 90s, and after that LPG will become, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization, and the scenario after that will be changed. Then the second core institution is religion, and religion is another important institution of India. In the study of Tims and Finns, more than 85% of Indians are under the influence of their respective religion. But after independence, India declared itself a secular country. But unlike Western society, Indian secularism is not anti-religion. It is based on the principle of Sarva Dharma Sambhav, that is equal treatment to all religion, which is another example of modernization of tradition. Then the third institution is joint family. In Indian society, they have a long tradition of joint family, which has basically three characteristics. The first one is the depth of generation, that is at least 3 to 4 generations lived in a joint family. Then common hearth and residence. Then they have undivided property. So, when this tradition institution came under the influence of modern education, industrialization, and urbanizations, these started changing its characteristics. But unlike Western society, joint family system was not abolished, rather, it brought some necessary changes to exist. Then K.M. Kapadia, Iravati Karve, A.M. Shah, etc. studied joint families in different societies and found that joint family is adapting with urbanization and industrialization. Other practices, customs, institutions are also under the influence of modernization, which can be seen in first, as you know, that love come arranged marriage. Then the second one is the mixture of modernity and tradition reflects in our language, dress, festivals, customs, and other form of daily life. Yogendra Singh in his book Modernization of Indian Tradition wrote that flexibility was the core of Indian tradition, which helped it to survive in all tradition and conditions. But simultaneously, unlike Western society, modernization also not arrived here in idealistic form. It was more practical and adjustable than the Western society. This helps in developing a synthesis between tradition and modernity, which is popularly known as modernization of tradition. Thank you guys for listening me and watching this video. Please do those 3 R's. Comment and like the video and ask any doubt if you have, and subscribe the channel. Thank you guys.